I have a question about what I think is like, it seems like a fine line between lessening interest in thought and resisting thought.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I've noticed when I try to lessen interest in thought, it almost kind of verges on the enforcing the idea that somehow I control thought. Like I'm trying to resist the thought. I'm trying to push it down versus just losing interest in it. And so sometimes what I do is I just say to myself, okay, I allow all thought. I allow all thought and including um, engagement with thought or um, identification with thought. I allow that to happen, but I just observe it. And I try to create, when I'm successful at that, right, I try to create the space between the thinking that is going on and the observation of the thinking, even if it's only like a little sliver of space, right? Just a little sliver where I can kind of have some distance from it. But if I try to in any way control it, it almost acts like the reverse, where I'm more engaged with it, and more identified with it. And so um, I just wanted to get your perspective on that. Like,
Hmm.
is is the approach I'm taking, is that workable?
Well, anything is workable as long as it works for you. That's what's beautiful about this practice is like you find a way to make it your own, but and then you can see for yourself if it's bringing complexity or simplicity, more thinking or silence, right? And
Yeah,
then from that you can judge it yourself.
yeah,
When what you describe though, you are adding a lot on your plate, it seems.
yeah.
I feel like if it helps, you can take that route. But when we talk about losing interest in thought, it's not necessarily we're being given something else to do now or to lose interest, to get rid of interest in thought. In one way, it is really just a reminder of the seer or knower of thought. Like
Yeah,
either your gaze can be like out or your gaze can be like this.
yeah,
So it's either you are your interest is your attention basically,
yeah,
and it's either on the thought or itself, the knower of thought. So when we say like, hey, drop interest in thought, in one way, it's like just instead of don't knowing thought, know yourself. It's like
yeah,
in that very moment you turn your gaze to yourself, acknowledging the awareness of thought, thought
yeah,
drops away.
yeah,
It's like you just have no capacity of attention to give to thought. The moment if thought has arisen, you just bounce back from thought to the knowing of thought. Is
So it's
that
like,
do you feel that is doable?
yeah, so it sounds like what you're saying is it's a matter of where is the focus,
Yes,
you know?
it's about
Um,
self attention.
yeah,
Um, Instead of another activity to do in order to let go of interest, it's just like you just um, can't be bothered with it anymore. You just have no room for it. Instead, you're more interested. You pay attention to myself, that which
right,
knows.
right.
And so that's a simpler route. That is a sort of an instant route where it gives you nothing to do. It's just you're being yourself. You're knowing yourself. And
Yeah,
that is that silence, silent self awareness.
yeah.
If that
I
feels
feel,
undoable, though,
yeah.
you can work around that process the way you describe.
I think if the thought activity is not too, crazy, I feel like that's doable. But I think sometimes all I can do is just create some space,
Mhm.
between the thought and me.
And in
Um,
that, in those moments, that is enough as well. So
yeah,
whatever you feel is doable in that moment, that is helpful, right?
yeah,
Because anything is better than just idle thinking about me
yeah,
and my life. Because yeah, there's nothing there other than
right,
ideas. So
right,
to whatever degree, even if this you have to take sort of a longer route to create that distance, that is fine too.
okay,
Um, but yes, know that interest and attention is sort of the same thing. It's just where your focus is flowing. It's just what you know. So that's why in this practice, instead of knowing thoughts, we're trying to know the knower, be the
right,
knower.
right,
And in any moment, we are acknowledging that I know. Even this experience right now, yes, it's appearing, and usually our attention is just flooded or lost in the experience. And now we're just taking a moment to bring our attention inward, away from the experience I know to myself, that which knows.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks. We can also take the route of just focusing on the I feeling because I am that which knows. I am that which is aware. So if, let's say, we're thinking, instead of keeping attention on thinking, in that very moment we notice I'm lost in thought, I can just bring my attention to this inner sense I, this inner sense of myself. What am I? Just this feeling of being yourself, this feeling of I-ness. We can also just guide our attention there. The feeling of the subject, me, the one who thinks, feels this, that. So rather than just paying attention to thinking, feeling this, that, I'm paying attention to myself. Other times, the direction that also works really well is just noticing existence, because I am that which knows, I am that which exists, I am that which is. So we can take either of these routes, noticing the knowing, the awareness of this experience, or focusing on the feeling I, or paying attention to existence or being. They all bring our attention to the same place, actually, which is self. And they can be used interchangeably. That you don't have to attach yourself to any one of them. It's just whatever feels doable and simplest in that moment, or in your phase of practice. Sometimes acknowledging your being is what feels most effortless. Sometimes focusing on I feels most effortless. Other times, being aware of being aware feels most natural. They're all the same.